There was a lot of arguing. There was a lot of abuse. There was a lot of jealousy, a lot of insecurities. There was financial trouble. Just everything to make a real volatile situation from all angles. Finally, one day, my mom just said, I want you to get out. And honestly, I was like, fine, I'm leaving. And so I left. And I think I kind of thought after a certain amount of time that someone would have come back and got me, or looked for me or whatever, but that did not happen. And so I would just kind of bounce back and forth, between people. But then after a while, you just kind of run out of situations altogether. And so there were times whenever I would, stay in like gas station bathrooms, and I would just go in late, lock the door, and I knew I was fine. If someone come and knocked on the door, I just didn't have to open it. And so that's what I did. And then during the day, I would go and hang out at places that I just really had no business hanging out at. It wasn't even the same house. It was like a couple different houses, but you kind of see the same people coming, in and out, and it was, older people. And so I just had one guy offer me, he said, hey, if you ever need a place to stay, you can come back at my house and you can stay the night at my house. And then I kind of just, that same scenario is what happened, during the day. I went and stayed at this one man's house. He was a lot older than me. And once I got over there, I could tell that I was in a real bad situation. The abuse kind of started right off the bat. And that was whenever I started being locked in the room. At first, it was just him coming in there and abusing me. And then it started to where I would hear, I would hear them out there like talking about exchanging money, like, hey, you can go in there, I got this girl, and they would pay, and they would come in there. And I remember that was whenever the strangers, were coming in. I say strangers because it was just different than them, people I had never even seen before. I was just so lonely. And nobody would ever come in there and like talk to me. And then I remember wondering like how I even got in that situation, because it progressed so fast. I learned fairly early on that if I stopped fighting and then I got a little more freedom, and it just eventually led to a point in time to where I was allowed to go to the store by myself. I remembered my grandmother's number, and I called, and she got me in touch with my dad, and I told them where I was going to be at. And whenever I was allowed to go to the store, I just kept on running. I went to where I was going to get, and I sat there and I waited, and I was so scared because I just thought like somebody was going to find me, that they were going to come and get me. But my dad came. God has just changed everything in my life. Everything is just so different. I've become somebody that I just never thought that I would become. The people that I thought that were above me at one point, the people that were paying their bills on time, the people that lived in nice houses, the people that, did everything the right way, that I felt like, that is never going to be me. I could not relate to them. Like, that's who I am now. God, I pay my bills on time. I'm a productive member of society, and it's all been because of me just going out and trusting God, and God showing me a different way of doing things and trusting Him. And He has just changed me so much from the inside out. I have learned how to forgive people, forgive everybody that, had hurt me and that had abused me, even my mom, my dad, for things that they had done, because I realized that forgiveness was more about me than it was about them. It was about me saying, you know what, I'm going to give up my right to be angry about this. I have a right to, but I'm not going to feel that way. And just, relieving myself of that burden. And it's so different for who I am now. I never would have thought in a million years, whenever I was, in the situation that I was in all those years ago, when I was 14, 15, 16, 17. I never would have thought that if somebody would have told me that this was going to be my life one day, and that I was going to be a Christian, and I was going to have a relationship with God, and that I would just be, even on the inside, much less the outside, who I am, I would have really laughed in your face. My name is Stacey, and I am a pearl of a very, very great price.